Ford. It's an American icon whose blue oval is known around the world. The Mustang, the F-150. Ford's cars and trucks are household names and driven around the globe. But now Ford is embarking on an exciting transformation with a new CEO. Good morning. I'm Linda Aiello, and welcome to another of our live weekly conversations as part of our Leading Through Change series, a chance for you to hear from leaders who are doing their best to get through these challenging times and support their communities. Before I hand it over to today's host, Monica Langley, Salesforce EVP and Global Strategic Affairs and co-author with Salesforce CEO Mark Benioff of the best-selling book, Trailblazer, The Power of Business as the Greatest Platform for Change, I want to preview the next hour. Monica will be speaking with Jim Farley, who just took over as CEO for Ford on October 1st. We'll then dive into a live demo highlighting the power of the Customer 360 and Tableau. In today's world, it's all about growing your customer relationships, which you can do with the help of Salesforce, the #1 CRM. You can unify sales, service, marketing, commerce, IT, and analytics all on one integrated platform, powered by our global community of Trailblazers, to connect you with your customers in a whole new way. After that, we will close with a special performance from Angela Aguilar. And as we do every week on Leading Through Change, we want to help those who need it most. This year, we're commemorating the 30th anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act. To celebrate progress towards ensuring equal access for all, Salesforce and the Muscular Dystrophy Association are teaming up to show strength for MDA. Join our movement and wellness campaign and get ready for the famous MDA Telethon on October 24th, totally reimagined for the digital age and featuring Kevin Hart and friends. To get involved, please visit the link you see on the screen right now and help support this year's MDA Telethon. Our own Monica Langley had the chance to sit down the other day with the new CEO of Ford, Jim Farley, for a conversation about how he's facing his new role at the helm of the American automaker. Here's that conversation.
Thank you so much, Linda. I am so pleased to be here today with Jim Farley, the new CEO at Ford. And when I say new, he's really new. He's been here less than 2 weeks as the CEO. Jim, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule because you are already making big changes at Ford.
Well, I'm so happy to join you, Monica.
Okay, before we get into some serious questions, we first have to talk about what makes you so interesting. First of all, I believe you were born to lead Ford. Let's start with your grandfather. Tell us a little bit about him.
Well, thank you. My grandfather was an hourly worker. He joined Ford in 1916, and he worked as an hourly employee. I think he was employee number 389, and so there's a long history. I really came back to Ford because of my grandfather. All the education for our family really came from him and from Ford. So serving Ford is a way to pay it back and pay it forward.
But you also just loved cars. You got the nickname as a little boy, Jimmy Car. Who gave you that nickname and why?
I think it was my mom. I was born in Buenos Aires, and I guess I always loved cars. I really can't explain it other than since I was a baby, every one of my baby pictures has me with a Mustang or some toy car in my hand, and always fascinating. My dad was a banker, so we didn't have a lot to talk about. But I love cars from day one, and I started working on them. I put myself to graduate school working in a restoration shop. Cars have been the center point in my life. I probably bought and sold 100 cars. This is a hobby. So I just love working on them, and it's just an honor to serve Ford.
Now, you did something illegal as a 14-year-old, and it involved Mustang. What bad thing did you do, Jim Farley?
Well, my parents scrapped up enough money for me to get a summer job on the West Coast and got an airplane ticket, and it was in an engine remanufacturing facility that our family owned. After my grandfather left Ford, he started as a parts supplier. And so it was a dream job for me. I got to work in one of our engine plants. And about halfway through the summer, I thought it'd be a really good idea to trade in my return plane ticket to Michigan and buy a used Mustang that was non-operable. And so I spent the summer at night after work rebuilding an engine transmission. And I lived in the Mustang. And then I was only 14. And so I thought it was even a better idea to drive across the country, since I had traded in my airplane ticket from Los Angeles to Michigan. I had no spare tire, obviously no license, no insurance. And it was kind of a coming of age moment. I never got stopped, but I had lots of adventures. I had to do it in about 36 hours. And so I had to do it straight. So I bought a case of Coca-Cola to keep me up, and I drove it straight.
That's such a cute story. Just as I think you were born to lead Ford, I think I was born to interview you. I'm a daughter of a Ford dealer from Knoxville, Tennessee, and his dealership sponsored David Pearson, whom I know you know of as a great NASCAR driver. Yep. And back in the day, here's my little car.
Oh, Torino.
Yeah. It's vintage now, because I used to go to these races in the 70s. And this little car says East Tennessee Ford on the side of it, the dealership. So I just wanted to show you. And I know you know this saying, win on Sundays, sell on Monday.
Sell on Monday. Absolutely. Well, David Pearson was kind of a really iconic, kind of a different kind of heroic NASCAR race driver, because he was older and he was very, they called him the Silver Fox, because he had gray hair and he would always win races, but he always did it in kind of a thoughtful way where he'd play head games with the other drivers. He would smoke sometimes while he drive, just to freak them out, because it was so effortless for him. And he was, we all know about Richard Petty, but the Silver Fox, he was something else.
You know, Richard Petty, for 1 year, did not drive a Plymouth. And my dad's dealership, East Tennessee Ford, sponsored him for that 1 year. So I got to know Richard Petty, and I played in the pits with Kyle Petty. They probably don't remember any of this, but I do. All right, let's get to the business of why we're here today. Leading Through Change is a series that Salesforce started at the beginning of the pandemic. We wanted to talk to leaders like yourself about how you're surviving and hopefully thriving during this unprecedented time. How are you approaching this now as the leader of Ford?
Well, for us, we're in the midst of a double transformation. We have to turn around our automotive operations, which really funds the other transformation, which is really disrupting ourselves. We've had a business model, private ownership of vehicles for 117 years, and Ford's done great as a global American company, but global reach. And so the way we're approaching is to have a very specific plan to clearly communicate to all of our stakeholders, especially our employees. Look, we have to turn around our automotive operations. We have to modernize our capability. That includes tools like Salesforce, and we have to disrupt ourselves. Part of it will come with automated vehicles that drive themselves. That's a disruption to personal ownership, where we use the vehicle per mile. And part of it will be going into the services business. We create as a brand differentiation around the four walls of our product until now. What's coming with connectivity in our industry is to actually spin up services that customers will love even more than the differentiation of the product. And in a sense, that's disrupting our own model of creating a brand around, the physical product.
That's right. And you also, I saw that because of all this disruption in your industry and your drive to transform Ford, you said scrambling has become a new core competency. What do you mean by that?
Well, part of it is COVID. The COVID situation for us was unbelievable. We shut down our plants for more than 2 months globally. Ford has never done that. We've been through wars and depressions in the 20s and 30s. We have never, ever done that. And as the whole industrial system came up, 50 plants, thousands of suppliers. All of our team members came into the plant using our safety playbooks, all wearing masks. The summer, it's 120 degrees in the plant in Kansas City. We had lots of surprises. Suppliers whose machines broke. We have 400 suppliers now in premium freight. We're flying 747s with parts from Mexico, and our team is just, scrambling. And frankly, Ford, this is a double-edged sword, but Ford does really well in these kind of crises. But also, I think the scrambling is a sense that, we're such a mature company. We kind of know how to do what we do, like complicated manufacturing. But now we're scrambling on figuring out things we have no plan for. And this is a totally new reality for our leadership team, not having a plan, but having to figure it out.
Exactly. So you really are, you come with a great background. And one of the backgrounds that you have is, even though you were born to lead Ford, you came from Toyota. You spent 2 decades at Toyota. So how does that prepare you? You've now been at Ford longer probably than at Toyota, but how does that background help you as you reimagine Ford, which has been around for more than 100 years?
Well, I really, I love my time at Toyota. Wonderful people. The Toyota production system is iconic in our industry. And I guess what I took away from there is I had the chance and the opportunity to lead a lot of new things at Toyota. Firstly, at Lexus, there was just a few of us, started Lexus, and then went on to the Scion brand, which was a challenger brand, non-negotiated price, and no traditional advertising, and as a traditional auto person, that was really a lot of learning. I got to go to Europe and grow Toyota's business there from 100,000 units. I think we finished about 800,000. So I was involved in the Tundra project, where we tried to take on the domestic F-150 juggernaut. And I learned from some successes and a lot of failures at Toyota, that to get it right with these big projects, like going into the AV business today, you have to do a lot of planning, and you have to have the right talent, and you have to build new capabilities. And that is probably the hardest part, making that shift, in our case, to data software. That is just a tremendous change. But I've been through it before in other ways. And sharing that with the leadership team and the confidence to make it through that is quite important. That's what the Toyota experience brought me.
Well, you also, when you joined Ford, it was in the midst of the 07-08 recession. And did that bring any lessons that you're using right now, because we are in the midst of an economic crisis? Yes,
absolutely. It was such a privilege to be part of the leadership team serving Ford back in 07. We didn't go bankrupt. We were able to get through the crisis stronger than almost anyone. And what
you were the only American car company that didn't get the bailout. Ford,
correct,
did not.
We were very proud of that. And a lot of customers turned to us. And what most people don't remember is that we actually invested a lot in product during the crisis, so that when we were coming out of it, we had all this fresh new product and a company that people wanted to revisit. It was a very tremendous combination. I guess as a leader, what I learned is the importance of, having the team be really connected on the plan and having a ruthless governance around execution. Those two things, during 07 and then now, you have to have a clear plan. Everyone needs to know their place in the plan, and it's got to be really clear. Our case, we have, two things to change, a double transformation, and we rolled out our plan the last couple of weeks. The second thing is a governance where the leadership team is just ruthlessly executing against that plan. I know it sounds rote and a bit kind of old-fashioned, but it saved our company in 07, and I believe it's just as valuable today.
That's great. Let's talk about when you were named a few weeks ago as the CEO, instantly people were rejoicing. Yay, we have a car guy, a real car guy at the helm of Ford. So given that you're viewed as a car guy, and I know you are, I see I think, is that a Mustang behind you back there?
Yeah. My whole apartment, all I have is, yeah, that's me.
Okay, so what products are on the horizon for Ford, and what are you especially excited about?
Well, I guess, everyone loves the new Bronco. It's coming out next year. It's like super amazing. We have, multiple years worth of orders now. And it's going to be great to give Jeep some competition with an iconic Ford. What I'm personally most excited about, may surprise people, I'm most excited about our electric vehicles, specifically the Mustang Mach-E, where we take that kind of Detroit swagger, add a kind of interior technology experience, and the design of a Mustang all put together in an electric vehicle that's not like a Tesla or the other ones out there. It's a lot more kind of emotional product. And we're electrifying America's most successful product, the F-150. I think we're only second to the iPod in total revenue. The F-150, we sold more than 1 million last year. It's such a great product. You can live in it. You can tow with it. And now we're going to electrify it and build it here in Michigan in 100% renewable plant. I think that's the first time that a complete zero emission vehicle is being made in a zero emission plant. And that vehicle is built for tough. We're not aiming it at, kind of personal use customers. It'll be kind of the first work electric vehicle. And I'm most excited about those. When I drive those vehicles, they're just better vehicles. They're quieter, much more simple parts. You have a front trunk that you can open. The F-150 is enormous. Just a totally new experience. And the F-150, you can actually power your job site with the batteries, and it has bi-directional charging, so you can use the energy in the batteries to run your house electricity. So it's a quite new, exciting. I guess I've been waiting my whole career to see these kinds of products.
You are clearly charging ahead with the electrification revolution. And speaking of the F-150, you did just transform a factory there of the F-150 to be electric. Is that right?
Yep. Where my grandfather worked, Henry Ford was buying all his parts from the Dodge brothers for bodies, and they eventually went in competition with them. And he kind of got sick of buying all these parts from people. So he decided to build the world's first vertically integrated plant, where we brought in iron ore from the Great Lakes and silicon, and we made glass, and we made steel bodies, and we brought wood from northern Michigan to make the Woody station wagons. And we brought the materials in, and out came, a finished car. That was the Rouge plant, built in 1928. We've been operating it every day since. And in the middle of that Rouge facility where my grandfather worked at the foundry, we are building a brand new state-of-the-art zero emissions factory to build our F-150 electric.
That is so cool. Now, you mentioned earlier in our chat today that how software is so critical, and it is changing the auto landscape. How is Ford going to use it to change its brand?
Software is a game changer for us when you combine it with the connectivity of the vehicle. These vehicles were not Internet of Things until recently. With the new electrics, we're installing electric architecture where everything goes on in that vehicle, we know. And the software that has to be written and application of AI, because the data sets are so big. Just think of all the error codes coming off the vehicle and making sense of that for our frontline engineers to get even better quality. We have to make sense of that with AI because the data sets are so big. And the software to the customer, I've seen it. We're a dominant player in commercial vehicles. A lot of people don't think about Ford that way, but we're 50% of the commercial vehicles in the US. And our customers run their business off those Ford Super Duties and Transit vans. And having software that they can help a driver drive smarter, to do dynamic routing using the location of the vehicle, integrated into their enterprise system is a game changer for our customers. And when you hear from our commercial customers, they're more addicted to the data and the software than the four walls of the product. That's when the light bulb went off for me. Like, we have to get this company to be a software first company.
That is amazing to hear the Blue Oval saying that when you're so known for your vehicles. At Salesforce, we're really thrilled that you are using our Customer 360 platform, including Tableau. That is allowing you, I guess, to get closer to your team and your customers as you're envisioning it now. Can you tell us how you are driving data and dashboards to the front line so people can use this information technology to get meaningful insights? How is Salesforce helping you? Are there a couple examples you can give of that?
Yeah, a couple of really poignant ones for us. We have 200,000 employees, and in the end of the day, the data and the software has to make it to them so they can make better decisions or create different things. So the first one is we're using the visualization of data tools from your company, which are game changers for our team. For example, we're using it in our crash and safety tests to simulate tests. Crashing a vehicle is very, very expensive. We want it to go really well. And so your visualization tools are just a game-changing new capability for our safety engineers. And there's so many other examples of visualizing data that's going to make their way into all those 200,000 employees.
That comes from a company that Salesforce bought called Tableau. So that's great to hear. And then
there's another one that I wanted to highlight, which is, for our commercial customers, if you were to ride around with a plumber, electrician doing their business, you would be shocked. They kind of run their business on Post-it notes. And, we have
I take a lot of Post-it notes in doing my job too.
Yeah. And I hope they're not doing when they're driving, but probably some are. And the reality is that working with Salesforce, we can use a lot of your tools to build enterprise solutions for them that are really game-changing efficiency for these small and medium-sized business. They're very underserved customers. They don't have the enterprise solutions that the larger companies like Ford have. And I think the Salesforce team has tools that, when they're put together, could really change these customers' lives. You're an electrician, you're a plumber, you got 5 vans or trucks, you're busy all day, your teams are out repairing jobs. You do not have time to, bid for new jobs, do inventory, and all those things are available when we work together differently.
That's great. Let's focus on a little more personal things about you. At Salesforce, we have really advocated on behalf of the homeless because we're based in San Francisco, where there is something of a real need to help the homeless there. But you are also doing that in Detroit, downtown Detroit. I know you personally serve food, pass out socks, and are leading a fundraising drive to build a homeless center at the Pope Francis Center in downtown Detroit. How important is this to you and to Ford?
It's critical. I mean, as leaders, our job is to serve. And that means a lot of different things, different people. For me, living downtown Detroit, which is a city going through an incredible change, I started to volunteer my time at Pope Francis. I was born in Argentina. Pope Francis from Argentina. And I really liked what they were doing, which is not just feed people, but feed their soul. Give them legal advice, mental health. The people who choose to live on the street in Detroit are different than a lot of homeless people around the United States. They choose to live on the street, and they have very specific needs. And it became really clear to me that there's a real opportunity for Detroit to take a leading position, even in the US, to have a permanent solution to homelessness. And it's not about food. It's not about addiction. It's about getting someone ready to make that move. And it's not even about a job. It's about dealing with their mental health, addiction, and even comfort. You know, when I went and saw some of the homeless people that I served, you know, and you put them inside, they sleep on the balcony. They have to sleep with the radio completely blasted.
Wow.
They don't know what it's like to live inside. They don't want to live inside. Their lifestyles to live on the streets. It gives them freedom that they can't have. And so we are raising money to actually have a new concept, which is to have addiction, mental health, training, everything on site. The easiest part is to put someone inside. You have to get their whole soul ready to do it. And,
Wow.
you know, I think Detroit, the homeless problem is just kind of beginning here. As the city got renovated, a lot of homeless people were kicked out of abandoned buildings. And so it's a growing problem here as the city rejuvenates. And we feel like we actually have a chance to find a permanent solution. And we're in the middle of raising money to do that.
That's fantastic. Now, on a lighter topic, when you joined Ford, you were in charge of the Lincoln, your luxury car. And the funny thing is the Matthew McConaughey commercials. Did you have any idea that those commercials with that actor would go viral, even be spoofed on SNL, and sell so many Lincolns?
Yeah, what we had, it's interesting you bring up Lincoln because we don't really talk enough about Lincoln. Last month in September, we sold 18,000 Lincolns between China and the US, and we had not sold that many Lincolns in 25 years.
Wow.
So the brand is really coming back. Our volume is building nicely with our new generation of products. We've been at it for almost 15 years that I've been at the company. But now we're getting products and the brand momentum. We do pickup and delivery for 100% of our customers. You don't have to ever come to our dealership at Lincoln. We're small enough to be able to do that. You know, when we came out with the new vehicles, like the new Navigator that's out now, it's so popular. We knew we wanted to have, you know, go big on promoting the brand. And I got a personal letter from Matthew, believe it or not. And I was like, no, this can't be real. I got it in my inbox. And it was him. And he had done that movie, Lincoln Lawyer. And he just had loved the brand. He owned town cars and some of the older Lincolns. And he's like, you know, I think your brand's really cool. And then my team and I just called him and said, hey, would you like to promote the brand? He's like, I believe in it. And so we brought him to Detroit. He saw some of the new product. He's like, these are really cool products. And then we decided to, you know, to have him promote the brand. It was an authentic connection with the brand, which is what I love. There's a lot of spokespeople in the car business, but this one is from the heart. And we're so thankful for the relationship.
It turned out to be a fascinating, you sold obviously you're selling a lot of Lincolns, and it's a fascinating endorsement by an actor. Now, on a lighter note, let's talk about your racing cars. You race vintage cars, but now you're the CEO. Now, I know Bill Ford a little bit, and I do know that he plays competitive ice hockey, but that is not competitive racing, which I think is much more dangerous. Mm-hmm. Did he ask you to stop racing if you're going to become the CEO?
I would say it was probably the second conversation we had after we had talked about this leadership opportunity. I said, you know, Bill, I just can't stop racing. It's just who I am. It's my yoga. You gotta let me do this. If I'm going to be a better CEO. And he was very supportive. I think it's a family company. Bill is a competitor, as you said. He's an incredible ice hockey player, and he knows how important this is for me. He knows I'm going to be, you know, as safe as you can be in a race car, and I'm really careful where I race and the kind of cars I race, you know, so that I'm as safe as I can be. But you know, look, as a CEO, you have to have an outlet to come back every day and lead the organization. And when I'm in that car, I'm concentrating 100%, and there's nothing else to think about. And when I'm done, it is such a mental break in a very quick time. And it just works for me. Plus I'm around my people, all my friends who are racers, and we get to give each other a hard time. And when I'm at the track, I'm just Jimmy Car, nothing more. So it's a great way to stay humble and connected to the product. And it's a great way for me to relax because I love competing.
Well, Jimmy Car, we have super enjoyed having you here with us today. And as the new Ford CEO, we are going to be so excited to see what you do. And I thank you for your time. And I know you've got a lot ahead of you. So thank you so much, Jim.
Monica, I want to thank you and also the whole Salesforce team. It's such a different relationship we have with Salesforce than other companies. You were really genuinely interested in helping the homeless problem in Detroit and solving our business problems and really brainstorming how we could work together, like the enterprise solution for a small, medium-sized business and commercial. And I just really value the relationship. I think we can do a lot more together. It's exciting. And Monica, thank you for making this time so much fun.
Thank you so much. And back to you, Linda.
Thanks so much to both of you. What a great conversation. And now I'm excited to hand it off to my colleague, Itai Asio, to show us how companies like Ford can create a data culture leveraging the power of the Customer 360 and Tableau.
Thank you, Linda. I'm Itai with the Salesforce Ignite team. At Ignite, we think a lot about the intersection between business, technology, and the human-centric experience. And today, I'd like to talk to you about decision-making in our new normal. Now, as you just heard from Jim, today more than ever before, companies need to make better, faster, data-driven decisions. But only 31% of organizations see themselves as such. And we know that some of the biggest pains are that data is often stuck in silos, in static spreadsheets, and that data-driven insights are simply not available to everyone. But successful organizations are able to create a data culture that enables and empowers anyone to make better decisions. To demonstrate what that looks like, we've created a fictitious automotive company we'll call Motivo, which is going through its own digital transformation. They need to move from being a car company to being a technology and more specifically, a data company. Victoria, their CEO, is leading the way to create a data culture within the organization. She created a way for her executive team to keep their finger on the pulse of the business, but also enabled organizational agility and a community around the data with the power of Tableau. Her team is able to now ask key questions such as, how are my sales doing by region? What are my customers saying? And using telematics, they can even get the driver score for each of their vehicles so that they can sense and respond to their customer needs. Now, this is not a command center. It's a collaboration space, and data is accessible to anyone who needs it, from the CEO to the front lines. But exploring the data is not enough. It is the insights and actions that drive decision-making. As we can see here, the dashboard is drawing our attention to the Firefly product. Something isn't right. Now, even before the pandemic, massive changes have been hitting the auto industry. The electrification of vehicles and autonomous cars are just a couple of examples. And during COVID, many organizations have had to deal with massive supply chain disruptions because of the new restrictions. But this alert gives Motivo an early warning so that they can be proactive about their sensing. Let's switch over to Marta. Marta is a production director at Motivo, and she has access to the same data sets, combining enterprise-wide data as well as external data. She's already looking into the issue. Her job is to make sure that Motivo's supply chain is resilient and can withstand disruptions. On her dashboard, she can get a sense of how her product lines are doing. Marta gets the same alert about the Firefly product. And when she selects it, she can see that the number of parts impacted by the disruption is 5%. Now, that might not sound like a lot, but with 30,000 parts in an average car, 5% is significant. And because her dashboard brings together different data sources from across the company, she can easily isolate the problem and see that she has 4 suppliers in China that are not able to deliver on time. This is the insight she needs in order to take action. And because this is all connected to the Customer 360 platform, Marta is able to quickly and easily create a Service Cloud case and notify the appropriate parties, R&D and purchasing in this case. They need to make a decision and select a new supplier for the missing parts. And since this is a shared collaborative space, they are able to quickly work together and take action. The team needs to identify the impacted parts and look at some specific indicators such as price, availability, and corporate social responsibility of the new supplier. Using data modeling and AI, Einstein is then able to give them a smart score to help inform their decision as well as the next best action. Marta clicks to request a quote from a supplier in Japan, automating a process that would have taken her much longer otherwise. She was empowered to make data-driven decisions in collaboration with her team and avoided a delay in production. Note that Marta didn't need to go to different systems or bounce between applications. She didn't need to go look for static spreadsheets or request special access. She did it all within Tableau and the Customer 360 platform. And the data is reflected on the executive dashboard as well, ensuring that Victoria, the CEO, and her team keep their finger on the pulse of the business. And that's how a data culture enables data-driven decisions at every level of the organization. Back to you, Linda.
Thank you, Itai. That was great. Now, you all know the drill. If you want to see today's musical performance and interview from Angela Aguilar, please go to Salesforce Live right now. That's salesforce.com/live. So if you're watching us on Twitter, head over to Salesforce Live right now, salesforce.com/live.